Toxic relationships are just that. They are toxic, and they are damaging to your well-being. How do you know if you're in a toxic relationship, and what can you do about it? We are joined now by an expert in the field. She is Dr. Carmen Harra. She's a relationship expert and the author of the book, Committed: Finding Love and Loyalty Through the 7 Archetypes. Dr. Harra, welcome to the show. Apparently, there are like these little signs. I think there's 6 of them. How you know you're in a toxic relationship. So if you would, let's take those one at a time.
Yes, so toxic relationships are kind of becoming the new norm because we immune to toxicity, considering it's okay and it's normal. But toxicity in a relationship is always bringing feelings of anxiety, depression, and even desperation. And people are ignoring the common signs. And I'm going to go very quickly to the common signs, the classic signs of toxicity. And the number one is jealousy and possessiveness. If somebody's constantly jealous up to a point of being angry, that's a sign of toxicity. And if somebody expresses feelings of possessiveness by isolating the partner in his action and connection with other people, that's another sign of toxicity. Cheating, very common, happens all the time. So infidelity is very hard to heal. What does it mean? It means that the integrity of the relationship is affected. The fact that your partner probably is promising you, I will never cheat again, you can never trust that because definitely you will cheat again. And when that happens, it's time to reevaluate your worth. And if you think I deserve better, then it's time to walk away from that relationship. Another classic signs of toxicity is lying. When lying becomes a pathological pattern of behavior, that's actually something that is called in psychology a pathological disorder. So that person will continue to lie all the time, so the trust is lost. So when you don't have no more trust in your partner again, you have to reevaluate what kind of a relationship you are in. The worst actually sign of toxicity is violence. And one episode is way too many. If your partner is violent, then you have to walk away right away in that very moment. You're not tolerating that. That's very damaging to your well-being. Withholding in a sign of toxicity because your partner will actually try to dominate, will dominate your action and will try to control you. And you feel always manipulated in a relationship. Again, it's very unhealthy. And I don't really recommend to be in a relationship when you feel that you are controlled and you're not allowed to do the things that you want to do. And a very damaging sign of toxicity is addiction. When you are in an addicted relationship, and you allow it to happen, chances are you might turn into somebody you don't want to be. And when we talk about addiction, we talk about compulsive disorder personality, we're talking about addiction to drugs, to alcohol. And, again, you have to look for mental health. You cannot allow toxicity like this to happen in a relationship because, again, it is very important to pay attention to the sign of addiction. Addiction is very serious. And one that I want everybody to pay attention because this is some kind of a silent sign of toxicity is indifference. If your partner is constantly indifferent for a week, for 2, for a month, for a year, and there's no connection anymore, it's again time to reevaluate your relationship and probably walk away because you deserve better and you deserve a relationship, but you can create emotional intimacy, love, affection, balance, and stability.
Dr. Harra, this is interesting. So if you recognize one of these signs in a current relationship, if you recognize one of the signs, when do you know the threshold? Maybe it's time to exit the relationship, or should they see a doctor like yourself? Can you save a relationship that has some of these elements in it?
Yeah, it's possible to save, but you need to get help from a professional, from somebody, to make you acknowledge the significance of mental health. This is what in the world right now should be discussed more. Mental health is very significant for your well-being, for the well-being of your partner. And of course, you want to save a relationship and do everything you can for the relationship to get back to balance and stability. But you have to do your inner work. And you have first to acknowledge that something is off and something is not right and pay attention to all of these signs.
So, Dr. Harra, let's say we have a married couple and one of them is indifferent. Let's say the wife is indifferent. She really doesn't care. She's apathetic. And then you have the husband who's very jealous. So how do you start that conversation between the two and say, we have to get better? Because it seems it can be a continuing cycle and you really don't improve at any point. How do you start that conversation?
Well, the conversation has to start somewhere, with underlining what's happening and the frustration and the disappointment, but in a very smart, way. You have to start the conversation so that your partner will understand your frustration and your disappointment. So it has to start, and communication is always key in making things better.
I'm curious, though, because I think it's important also to remember the excitement in a relationship. And some of these things do spark, let's just say it can get a little bit combative. So how do you go through a therapeutic kind of session and still keep that spark? How do you keep that excitement? Because a lot of times passion can be a double-edged sword, correct?
True, absolutely right. You're right.
So do you have any recommendations maybe for how couples can keep the spark and excitement in their relationship as well?
Oh, that's a big question and a wonderful one. When people should go back to the beginning, when they were excited, when they were happy with each other, when things were perfect, so-called perfect at the beginning, go back to those moments. Revisit places that you visit at the beginning of a relationship and bring that emotional connection and create emotional intimacy, which is the connection of the soul. Very significant to be connected at the mind level, at the soul level. And that will definitely bring that emotional spark back.
Dr. Harra, if people would like to have information like yours, advice like yours, I do recommend picking up the book. But if they're looking for a therapist, is there a source they can go to find a reputable therapist, someone that may fit their situation?
I think there are a lot of wonderful therapists out there, and people should go to marriage counseling. I highly recommend that. It's very significant for people to go to this kind of a cognitive therapy in which they get the help that they deserve. But don't let this bad signs of toxicity get worse. So take charge right away, and you will see your life getting back in track and improving, and you will find the balance and stability I'm talking about.
Dr. Harra, I have to ask you, are you a florist as well? Because you always have beautiful flowers surrounding you. And they actually you're color coordinated as well. How do you do it?
I love colors. We are very colorful people. Emotions are colorful. So I think we express love and gratitude by using all these beautiful flowers, the symbol of love.
Well, you're certainly charismatic and very engaging. So for those of our viewers like myself who would be interested in purchasing your book, where can they go to find your book, Doctor?
They can find it anywhere books are sold, and especially at Amazon, because everybody buys from Amazon. So go to Amazon or go to any bookstores, and you're going to find Committed, Finding Love and Loyalty Through the 7 Archetypes. If you want to find out your archetype, if you want to work on your relationship, this book will really help you.
Okay, before I let you go, give me one good tip for a married couple. Before they leave each other, they both go off to work, whatever the case may be. Is a kiss on the cheek a good thing, or what should they do?
Yes, it's very true. You know what? When somebody continues to express love and telling your partner every single day, I love you, that will rekindle the relationship and will always bring that flame back, and the excitement and the connection will happen again.
Okay. Dr. Harra, thank you for the information. Really appreciate you.
Thank you, John. You're wonderful.
Good information. Grab that book. I tell you what, she is just a plethora of knowledge, and you can tell she has the passion for what she does as well. Take a little break. Myra Ansari is going to be filling in once again for Don G, and she'll